Yo, what's up? It's Leroy. I'm on the Zach Nichols podcast, and we're talking about challenges, family, life. Y'all don't want to miss it. Hands down, this will be the best podcast that he's had. Y'all got some money for me?
Welcome back to the Zach Nichols podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, the Big Fettuccine.
What up, though?
And more importantly, for the first time, Michigan resident, Leroy Garrett.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
He said, what up, though? What up, though? That's right.
Thanks for coming through, bro.
Man, had to do it. I wanted to support this. When I first seen, I think I first looked on social media, it might have just came across my page. I'm like, oh shit, Zach got a podcast. And then you end up reaching out. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come.
For sure,
Come
man.
show love. Any challenger that has anything that's going on, I want to try to support it if I can.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, dude, we've been having a good time, so
It's funny.
we're really happy to have you in.
You're very witty.
You knew this.
Yeah, you probably one of the funniest people that ever done a show.
Thank you.
Yes.
But it have made it.
No, he's very Zach is an asshole,
Yep.
right? Zach
Yep.
is a for sure asshole.
I'm gonna second that.
But
I'm a third that.
he, for real,
G, you want to fort that?
yeah, definitely. But very, very funny.
You know what's funny is Brad actually came in here, and when Brad was here, he was like, Zach's one of the funniest people on the show, but he's the funniest when he's pissed off.
Yeah, and it's like, I think that sometimes it's funny, but it could be like disrespectful to some people.
It definitely is disrespectful,
Yeah.
brother.
So I guess you have to look past it. The funniest thing that Zach has said about me, or they had said, was Leroy is built like a Ford truck, but he has the engine of a golf cart.
What season did I say that? I don't remember
This
that.
was War of the Worlds 2. War of the Worlds 2. I was so pissed, right? And you know what's crazy? When people say things, we get angry about it, right? But then I have to really analyze that, damn, he's right. I had no gas. I remember that season I was working out with Paulie every day because he had said it, and Paulie used to be in my head like, yeah, they said you ain't got no gas, Lee. So I'm trying to run every day or whatever the case may be. But I mean, it was actually funny when I thought about it. Even when I sit and think about it now, it was truthful. It was some fucked up shit to say, but it was funny for sure.
We've asked a lot of people who's the funniest person on the challenge. There's never been another answer other than Leroy Garrett. So who's the funniest person to you?
To me, probably Devin.
Yeah.
Devin is really funny. I think that Bananas is really funny. I think that Brad is funny by default.
Just watching
Just
Brad live his
Yeah.
life is funny.
Yeah, it is.
Tony's funny. Kyle's funny. You're funny. Devin is probably the most funniest person.
Yeah, that's a lot of era 3. That's a lot of era 3 that you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to me is like you got cast for this incredible season. There is no era 3 without you, but how was it going on?
Era 3 was without me.
Yeah, I mean,
I was there for 2.5 seconds.
they tried not to, but
Flew in and flew out.
How is that though? Like, just the idea of it's not All Stars, right? So they're like, hey, you're gonna come and do the flagship, and you have 2 kids. Recently, Ari was just born. They're like, hey, could be 10 weeks.
Yeah.
That's just gotta be a mind fuck. You didn't even bring pictures of your kids.
No, I never do because I don't want to be sitting there and be like, when I leave, I try to even before I had kids, I never really called home like that. So I was like, let me just not even think of that. But I had went back and forth with it because I'm like, damn. At first, when they first called, they said, hey, this is when it's going to be. I'm like, well, my baby's not going to be born. So it's a no. And they're like, well, just put it down as a maybe. My kid, that's the birth of my child. The challenge don't care. No. They don't give a fuck. They're like, whatever. So I said, it's a no. And they're like, well, something could change with the dates. And then out of nowhere, they're like, it's after my daughter was going to be born. A few days after, I would have to leave, 2 weeks after. And I talked to Cam about it because I was thinking to myself, damn, what kind of dad is that going to make me if I leave right after she's born? And she's like, well, people have to leave for the military. And, it's not like these days when you have children, you're not going for just the fun of it and to get fucked up and party or whatever.
Right.
How it was yesterday. It's really like a job. So she said, hey, treat it like that. Go in. And I was like, okay. And I talked to my family about it, my sisters or whatever. She's like, don't even think of it that way. Because I was like, damn, what kind of father would do this? Because you're only thinking of the show as partying or whatever. And so I went. But up until for the season, all I did was puzzles and swimming. Right. So I ordered a bunch of Survivor puzzles, right? All these different puzzles. And I would be sitting in the kitchen doing puzzles, and Cam would come behind me. She would say, check. And I would be like, fuck. And, so that's all I practiced up to going into the season. So when I got there, I was hyped. Like, I hope I get a puzzle. Then I got one, and it was just like, yeah.
Yeah, but then you had to paddle your way in the little stupid boat.
Bro, listen, me thinking that I was going to do puzzles for like 4 months and be good to go, like, it's something that you have to continuously do. And I feel like for me, my critical, under pressure, I crack, you know, and that's even like that in parenting. Sometimes when my kids be acting the fool, I kind of crack, and Cam's able to just like, we got this. So
yeah. Well, I mean, there's so many directions I could go from that, but like you talked about how, you know, this is a serious thing. Like, your child has been born, you know, you have 2 under 2 or whatever. And like, he said it many times in his opinion, like, Cam's the best thing to help you. How has she been supportive of you doing everything that you need to do for your family? Like, talk about that. Like,
I mean, well, I think it helps because we both come from the same world, just like you and Jenna do.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot different if Cam wasn't from the show. Then my wife would probably be like, hell no. But she gets it. She understands. Right. She knows what goes on there. Everybody knows her. So
everyone's scared of her.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Even the household, we're all, well, I'm the only one. The kids love her, but I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So she was like, go. And in all honesty, I'd rather Cam go because I feel like she has way better chances of winning than I do. She's like, well, I'm not in good enough shape. It's like CT showing up. He doesn't be in shape sometimes, and he still pulls it off. So yeah, she was cool with it. She's like, go ahead. And that's the best thing when you have the support system at home. Like, hey, go. And yeah, I went and I came home quickly.
Yeah.
So I wasn't.
Yeah.
And you know, it was so quick that I thought that when people were seeing it, they said, all right, Leroy must have went just to get his guaranteed. But I legit tried. Right. It's like, and we'll get into all of that. But yeah, so going into the show, I was excited to be able to go on 40.
Yeah, no, that was huge.
Well, what's crazy to me is Cam left the game as the most, let's just say, dominant female. Like, she was running the show for seasons, and then she was like so cool with just being like, no, it's time. Yeah. That's crazy to me. Because not a lot of people, you see a lot of every male and female challengers, if they were at the point in the game that she was, there's no way they'd walk away. She had a stranglehold.
She's Barry Sanders. She's retiring in her prime.
Basically. Yeah. She just was like, you know what? It's time to start a family. And then it's just like, that's just her.
Yeah, for her, the way that Camp looked at it, she pretty much used the show for her platform. So she didn't really care that much. Like, for me, I've been doing it for so long. I'm like, I gotta get a win. She's just kind of like, whatever. So once we got pregnant and I had, you know, retired from the show because we know why. We don't have to get into that. But she was just like, yeah, you know, I'm ready to be a mom. And I was like, cool. And so when we got the call to do All Stars, after I cleared up everything, after MTV cleared up everything with me, and we came to a conclusion and agreement of how the show was going to be ran, and I decided I was going to go. She's like, well, you should go, babe. I'm like, no, you go. Yeah. I'm going to stay at home with the kids. I'm going to fly to Michigan, to Detroit, stay with my sister, and she's going to help out with Kingston. My sister's like, no, both of y'all go. So we was like, all right, cool. We're going to go get the bag real quick.
Yeah. That was awesome to see you guys both back.
Yeah. But she is, Cam's a beast. Yeah. Like she would be considered like a CT because she's good at everything. Right. Very smart, very strong. And people actually do have like a fear of her. Yeah. So
we all learned that the hard way on several seasons.
I love that. And I said it so many times to her. I'm like, yo, like, she comes into any room and is immediately the decision maker. Yeah. Like, what is it about her that makes her so powerful?
She's the decision maker in her household too.
Well, a lot of people, there's a lot of people like try to give themselves nicknames, and everyone else is like, chill on that. Yeah. Cam was like, I'm the queen and I'm the killer. And everyone's like, yup.
Yep.
Yeah, you are.
100% sure she is. So I think that where she's at now with parenting, it'll be very hard for her to come back, because this is a lot different, like with a father leaving their children and the mother doing it, especially when they're this young. Right. It's not to say there's something wrong with it, but for me, it's a little bit easier. I'm like, cool, I'm trying to get up out of here. And she's like, nah, I'm with my babies in this time and blah, blah, blah. So, and I love her for that, but the same way she is on TV is kind of at home. Obviously, she's softer. She's not walking around like trying to wrestle me or anything like that, but she don't take no shit, and she's good at what she does, whether it's parenting, whether it's work, whether it's the relationship. Like, in all honesty, she's a leader.
She's a winner.
Like, yeah.
She's an old soul for sure, too.
For sure.
Old soul.
For sure.
She knew what she wanted very early.
Yeah. Yes, she did.
So for you, we'll get into the love story, but like, what was it that took? Because I remember you said at one time, like, to see you in your dad era, like, did you ever see yourself in this era? Like,
you could have asked me when I met you through all our seasons, like, how much money will you bet that Leroy will become who you are today? And I would have said, my house, my car, every dime in my bank account. That will never happen. And then now I'm just like, because not only are you in it, you're owning it,
Dominating it.
You're like the dad, you know, like not a lot of like. Listen,
You look
like,
up dad in dictionary, there you are.
bro. Like I remember like you had I saw when you posted like a story or something, you had a diaper bag on your shoulder and you're pushing the thing, and I was like, damn, he's in as deep as me.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I'm in it.
Owning it.
I'm in it. You know what's crazy?
That concludes the free preview of the Zach Nichols podcast.
So go to Patreon and subscribe to see the rest of the shit that we talk.
Go do it now.